All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. We're the best reviews wrestling and your three-time YWC channel of the year, and I'm back here. It is now officially, Friday, September the 5th, 2025. We are very close to approaching midnight. It's about a minute or two away, so by the time you see this, it will technically be Saturday, so I guess I should say it's Saturday, but whatever. But anyway, so hope you're all having a good one. Hope you all had a good Friday and everything. Mine was satisfactory. Got off work, rest. I actually took a nap. I actually just woke up a little while ago from a nap, and I went and I checked my social medias. And so something happened tonight on tonight's edition of Friday Night Smackdown. So I figured I'd talk about it and cover it here. So, as the rumors have been speculating all week, and it was officially confirmed by multiple sources, including Wrestling Observer, Brian Alvarez reported on this and all kinds of stuff. And it officially happened tonight. So we had a big return in WWE tonight. They were in Chicago for the show, I believe at the Allstate Arena, if I'm not mistaken, whatever they call the arena now. But they were in Chicago tonight. And we had a segment where you had CM Punk had a confrontation with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and we had the return of AJ Lee. Yes, it is official. AJ Lee has returned to WWE for the first time in 10 years. She came out, big pop, once again, it's Chicago, it's CM Punk's hometown. I guess technically it's hers because, again, they're married and they live together. So yes, we have AJ Lee coming out. AJ Lee officially makes a return. So again, the rumors are true. AJ Lee is back in WWE. You know, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. And there's a light it up, 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 and the you know that AJ Lee. So, sorry, I had to break into that little song there, the little rendition there. But yes, AJ Lee has returned, and so happened to see the segment on their YouTube. Excuse me. Still recovering from a cold, folks. Sorry. But, so forgive the cough. But anyway, so AJ Lee returned. I happened to catch the segment on their YouTube page. Of course, again, it aired on Smackdown earlier. So, yes, AJ Lee is back. And likely, we're going to see a mixed tag match with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, who are a real-life couple, versus CM Punk and now AJ Lee, who are a real-life couple. So yeah, it was kind of, honestly, you know, it is a big, it is a, I guess you could say, big deal. You know, the crowd obviously, like I said, popped for when she came out. Of course, they popped for CM Punk when he came out. Obviously, again, they're in Chicago. Of course, they're going to go for the cheap pop. Of course, again, that's CM Punk's hometown, and so on and so forth. And so it's kind of obvious what this is. Again, people were speculating for most of this week, ever since, the beginning of the week. Even before it was confirmed by, the Wrestling Observer and Alvarez and Meltzer. So it's obvious what they're doing here. I mean, understandably, AJ Lee hasn't been in the company in 10 years. Of course, people are going to be excited. It's something we haven't seen in a long time. But for me personally, I just kind of feel like we know ever since, the Becky Lynch thing happened, or Becky Lynch intervened in that four-way, and cost Punk the title, or, allowed her man, Seth Rollins, to basically retain, we kind of knew where this was headed. I mean, people have been predicting this ever since then. And now finally it's happened. And a lot of people with these AJ Lee rumors were basically saying that they pretty much spoiled her return, or the WWE ruined her return. And here, they pretty much ruined her return, because they more or less advertised it ahead of time. And it's like, this is kind of what WWE is now. They are so desperate to get any kind of notoriety, to get any kind of positive, reaction that they can, that they're going to go out of their way to advertise somebody who hasn't been seen in 10 years, instead of going for the usual surprise entrance or the usual surprise return. They basically advertised it in advance, and it's like, this is the landscape of WWE now. This is yet another act of desperation on WWE's part. So I imagine that this mixed tag match is going to happen likely at WWE's next event, WrestlePalooza, on September 20th, which, by the way, airs on the exact same day as AEW's All Out pay-per-view in Toronto, which it was also, and I want to talk about this in the video, well, I might as well mention it here. AEW's All Out pay-per-view actually moved up from where it was. It was originally scheduled for 7 p.m. for that day. They've officially now moved up to 3 p.m. And so I think they did that strategically because they knew that WWE was fucking... WWE intentionally created this WrestlePalooza pay-per-view just to go fucking right, you know, head-to-head, if you will, with All In, just to put it right next to All In, to try to again eclipse and take away, you know, attention and shine from AEW's pay-per-view, which they weren't going to do. And then AEW said, okay, you want to put a fucking pay-per-view on the same day as ours? We're going to move ours up and then have ours be first. So basically, AEW is out here playing chess while WWE's out here playing checkers. So there you go. And, you know, and I imagine this is going to be a regular trend. If WWE wants to sit here and try and counter-program AEW and take shine away from their pay-per-views, and every time WWE is going to try to put one of these premium live events on the same day as a big AEW show, AEW is just going to move the time. You know, every time. I imagine this is going to be the norm. Every time WWE tries to do this, AEW is going to strategically either move up the time or maybe move a day, whatever. And of course, you got dumbasses on social media. AEW scared. They don't want to go ahead to... Fucking no, people. It's a goddamn pay-per-view. Okay, they're pay-per-views, or, you know, in WWE's case, premium live events. They're not going head-to-head. This isn't a fucking TV show. Okay? AEW has their fan base who are going to watch their pay-per-views, whatever, regardless of what WWE does. AEW has their fans, WWE has their fans. Each promotion has their own fans who are going to watch their shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there is no head-to-head, so get the fuck out of here. It's not about AEW being scared or any of that bullshit. Okay? WWE can try all they want. They can try all the fuck they want to counter-program AEW. Shit's not going to work. It didn't work at fucking All In when WWE had 3 fucking goddamn shows on All In weekend to try to counter them, and they failed miserably. And it's not going to work on this occasion, and it's not going to work. It's going to fail on every other occasion. So let's just be real on that. But anyway, so in terms of the AJ Lee, let me getting back to the topic of the video here. AJ Lee returns. You know, it was a cool moment, so on and so forth. Again, they got the pop, the crowd was excited, so on and so forth, and she's going to be teaming with her husband, CM Punk. So it should be something interesting at the very least. I imagine the match itself isn't going to be anything too spectacular. I mean, well, CM Punk and Seth Rollins, we've seen them wrestle before. But Becky Lynch, seeing how AJ Lee does, like for the first time, you know, she's going to wrestle for the first time in 10 years. That's a attraction in of itself. And she looked pretty good, like, you know, when she came out. You know, looked like she hasn't aged much. She hasn't aged a bit. And so outside of that, I thought it was a cool moment. But I just think, to me personally, it was more of an act of desperation on WWE's part, which we're seeing a lot of that nowadays. They went for the cheap pop, the big return, because they needed any sort of positivity they can get on the show. Because last week SmackDown got the lowest rating in the show's history. The lowest rating in SmackDown's 26, 27-year history. So they needed to do something, I guess. But anyway, so that's pretty much my opinion on that. Not to be like a Debbie Downer or take away from anybody who was excited to see it. But I just got to give you guys my opinion, my legit opinion on what I think of it. So that's pretty much it for that. So I guess we'll see what happens going forward. So I guess we'll see how this storyline between the two plays out. I'm honestly not going to expect anything spectacular, though. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment. Give me your thoughts on the AJ Lee return or anything else I talked about here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support I can get. With that being said, it's pretty much going to do it, man. So thanks for watching again. Till next time, Wrestling Otaku, I'm out for now. See you guys later. Have a good one for now. And peace.